I'm Meg Zehmer, an early childhood specialist with Everyday Parenting Solutions. We are here to support parents, grandparents, teachers, guardians with helping children in today's world. We like to say we teach caregivers a common sense and compassionate approach. I'm excited to talk to you today about childhood anxiety. The goals of this brief talk are to recognize symptoms of stress in young children, to realize when your child needs help dealing with his or her anxiety, to know when and where to turn for help, and to understand your role in helping your child address his or her anxiety. What exactly is childhood anxiety? The term anxiety is best defined as a feeling of unease, such as worry or fear. It's an understandable reaction in children and or adults when they are exposed to something that they're afraid of. However, anxiety is when it takes over the good feelings and exposes children and adults to something, a feeling, a reaction that they cannot take care of or control within themselves. Anxiety triggers in young children. I've listed a few, certainly there are more. Unstructured time with the arrival of summer. Children are used to their school routines and their friends, and all of a sudden there's a shift or a change. New activities, maybe going to a new summer camp or a new daycare, navigating new friendships, changes in routines, transitions involving new places and faces, and sometimes overstimulating environments. Think of a camp, loud, noisy, that might be overstimulating and produce anxiety to a child. Ways in which a child's anxiety shows up as something else. Sometimes young children will act out and act angry. They're really not angry at you, they're angry at the situation. They don't have the words to express their feelings, and so it's up to us to help give them the words. We can read lots of books about feelings. We can show them different pictures of faces. How are you feeling? What makes you feel angry? So we need to help them define it starting in preschool so that they have those terms to use. Often children with anxiety have difficulty sleeping. If they get to sleep, they're up and down, or sometimes they have trouble even falling asleep. Sometimes you'll see defiance. Again, a power play. You might have a wonderful, nice, compliant child. All of a sudden, they're acting differently. No, I'm not going to do it. They're standing there with their arms crossed. Make me, stomping feet. Again, they're not choosing to do this when they're anxious. This is just a feeling that is coming from within. This is one of my favorites, chandeliering. So this is when literally a child that's usually very compliant flies off the handle for no apparent reason. And so we call it going to the top, going to the chandelier. They just lose control. And you think, oh my gosh, what just happened? But when you sit down with them and you take some deep breaths and you say, talk to me, what were you thinking? What were you feeling? Or let's read a book about feelings, and they kind of have time to decompress. You will quickly find out, oh, there was something. There was a reason that he or she hit the ceiling and was quote unquote chandeliering. Again, lack of focus. If a child is anxious, he or she is not going to be able to focus, maintain, and sustain his or her attention on the exact task at hand. So that child might present as sort of preoccupied, sort of daydreamy. Avoidance is another sign. The child might not want to go to school because maybe they're afraid of a new student, or maybe there was a loud noise, or maybe the lights are bothering them. You just never know. And the important thing with children and anxiety, no matter what age, even if it sounds silly to you, it's their thoughts and their feelings. So we need to respect them and address them and give them strategies to support them through this. Sometimes a child will be negative. Again, that sort of goes hand in hand with defiance. If that's unusual, that's really time to sort of stop and think and look and listen. Why is your child being negative? When does it happen? What's the frequency? Where's the location? Over planning. Often children that are a tad bit older than preschool, they like to stay busy and they go from one activity to another to another. They fill their time because they don't want to stop and have that downtime to really think about what it is that is stressing them out or bothering them. So when to be concerned and where to turn for help. There are a couple of questions I have on my slide. You need to ask yourself, to what extent and how often is your child's anxiety negatively impacting him or her and preventing participation from daily routines? So is your child missing school? Is your child not wanting to go to after school care? Is your child missing birthday parties or social interactions? What is making that hard? And that takes some time, that takes effort, that takes patience. But again, what you put into this is what you're going to get out of it. Then ask yourself, how is your child manifesting his or her anxiety? What are the signs you see that we just talked about? Is your child not sleeping? Is your child being defiant? Do you see chandeliering? Is your child being negative? What exactly do those behaviors look like? When and where do these behaviors occur? And also ask yourself, how long do these behaviors last? Is it a fleeting thing? Is it 5 minutes? Is it 3 minutes? Is it longer than 5 minutes? So once you've sort of gathered your information, then you go to the next step. You always want to make sure that you reach out to your child's teachers, your child's caregivers, your pediatrician. These are the people that know your child the best. So don't be embarrassed. Mental health is very important. Anxiety is very much in the forefront right now. We live in a very anxious world, and we want to make sure we are giving our children the support and love and care that they deserve. So helpful hints for parents and caregivers. You want to maintain a predictable routine in a safe and stable environment. You want to pay close attention to your children's feelings and perform feelings checks. You might say, let's have a feelings check-in, and say a thumbs up means I'm feeling great. Kind of a hand back and forth is I'm okay. And thumbs down means something's wrong. So share this with caregivers. Maybe share it with your child's teacher. For all you know, your child's teacher might already do it. But it's just a nice way to check in. Let's have a feelings check. Read books to your child about feelings, and I have several referenced further on in these slides. Model good emotional health for yourself. Stay calm. I know that's easier said than done, but children are going to pick up on your thoughts and your feelings, and recognize efforts and praise small accomplishments. Anxiety in children, it's not a quick fix. You don't just say, snap out of it and it's gone. It's a process, and so be patient. More helpful hints: modify your expectations during stressful periods. For example, holidays, that's a high stress time. So if you know your child has trouble meeting new people, probably not the best time to expect him or her to meet new family members or go to a huge big family reunion with people that he or she has never met. Be proactive, plan for transitions. For example, if your child has trouble getting to school, allow extra time in the morning. Remind yourself your child's anxiety is not a sign of poor parenting. This could be genetic, situational, environmental. Practice self-care and build a strong support network for yourself. One of my favorite quotes is, we can't give to others what we withhold from ourselves. So you've got to take care of you first, so then you can take care of those little people. Some resources for adults. I love Helping Your Anxious Child, the Happy Kid Handbook, How to Parent Your Anxious Toddler, Freeing Your Child from Anxiety are just a few. And then resources for children, Love Wonderfully Worried, The Kissing Hand. They're all great. When my worries get too big, one of my all-time favorites, It's Okay to Make Mistakes. Children often fear disappointing us, letting us down, doing something the wrong way. It is okay to make mistakes, and that's a very important life lesson. For final thoughts, the best things parents can do is to teach their children to love challenges, be intrigued by mistakes, enjoy effort, and keep on learning. And that's one of my favorite quotes from Carol Dweck, who works with growth mindset. So we want to set our children up for success, and we want to give them confidence and help them understand and address their feelings. Please reach out to us at Everyday Parenting Solutions. We're here to help. Thank you.